Hey y'all, I want to welcome y'all to this channel. It's the Chicago Vibe Podcast. We'll be dropping this Saturday with your girl, Lady T. Marie and Mr. Success. You don't want to miss it. What up, y'all? It's your girl, Lady T. Marie with It's a Chicago Vibe. This week, y'all, we're going to give y'all a recap of all the episodes we have done thus far. And also, we will be giving y'all we will be asking each other questions and giving y'all some feedback on the things that's coming up. And y'all will be learning a little bit more about us. Stay tuned.
All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to this Chicago Vibe with me,
DJ Mr.
and Lady
Success.
T. And sorry for the delay. We had a little guests going through a little something today, but we will do mental health issues coming up on the later week and stuff. But this week, as Lady T announced to you guys, we're going to do a recap because it is like before. We've been doing this for over 3 months now. I'll give you a recap on some shows we did, and you will learn a little bit more about us and what we got coming up, what we're working on, different things. So let's hop right into it. Week 1, we did a show with just me and Lady T. We did it on mental health and illness, so that's why we were trying to do this again and get some guests on the show with us to talk about this issue, because this is like a really important issue and stuff. Is there anything you'd like to add about mental health issues, Lady T?
I really think it's very important for us to not just do the 1 or 2 episodes, but continuously do multiple episodes, because it's a lot of information that's out there, new information that's out there that we don't know about. It's things that I'm learning about mental illness because I'm dealing with that, with a child. So I'm learning that is in the state of Illinois, there's really no help. As far as like long-term facility, they have inpatient and outpatient. I mean, a lot of outpatient, but they don't have like a lot of places where they can stay long term. So that's something that we definitely need help with, because it's a lot of people that's out here that's dealing with mental illness. So we will be doing a show real soon for you guys, and we'll go a little bit more deeper about mental illness.
Yeah, especially one of the guests we have, he's dealing with it. He had went through it. He actually got programmed, and he got like a lot of information to share with you guys. And his name is Brother Bradley. Me and him did podcasts before together, but no video wise. We only did voice podcasts. You could actually find some of those. I believe they're not under Mr. Success Media, but they are under Spotify. I forget the name. Oh, Radio of Success. That's what I was using back then. So tune in to some of those episodes. We had a lot of detail about those. But episode 2, we was talking about the purpose of family and friends. We didn't have no guests on that. Is anything you'd like to add to this, Lady T?
Wow, we all know that family and friends, can be very valuable to you, and can be very influential to you. But also, family and friends could be. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, family and friends could also be harmful to us as well. So I feel like, as far as family, you don't have to be blood to be family, or you don't have to have known a person 20 years for them to be your friend. So I just feel like family is very necessary, especially the times that we're living in right now.
Yeah, very valuable. It's like hit or miss, especially with family, because like a brother-in-law, older sister, her husband used to say, you can't control who you're related to, but you can control who you're friends to. And that's a statement, like he said that years ago, and it just stuck with me because this is true. You gotta learn how to deal with family. Friends, you could cut them off real, but it's different when it's family. Find out family member that's like that, it's like how my mother taught me. Sometimes you can love with a long kind of spoon. Sometimes a little with it that way. And three, it was about censorship, and we had a guest with us, Clarice from Libra Scale, and she collaborated with us a little bit, said her thoughts on this, and censorship is still to me the same thing. What about you, Lady T?
I think censorship is at its all-time high because we living in a different time, and a lot of things that's taking place now was not taking place back in the day. And so it's almost as if like things are almost compared to when slavery time. You know what I mean? Like if you call this person the N word, you know what I mean, then it's a problem. So I just feel like we're in a different era, in a different time, and it's just you know, you can't speak you don't have, I feel like you don't have freedom of speech. You can't speak or say how you feel without being crucified for it.
I absolutely agree. It's like stuff that flip. It's like things that were censored over the radio years ago. Like you had to basically talk in code when you made songs nowadays. Nowadays, you can just say anything and get in like certain words you could say you can't say now. Like you say, the times have changed, it's switched, and it's we just
And I want to also say, like, we got to learn how to have accountability for our actions because what we put out there is going to follow you forever. You know what I mean? A lot of people say, man, Lady T, you could rap, you do really good music. And I feel like you should be like the next. I've had people tell me I should be the next Nicki Minaj or the next Cardi B. I'm not trying to be the next Nicki Minaj or the next Cardi B where I got to be censored. No, I'm trying to be who God called me to be. So, I want to say, to the people who out there that's listening. Also, this is getting off subject a little bit, but don't let people change who you are, who God created you to be. Be who God, created you to be. Uh, just be whatever God put in you to do. Be that. You know what I'm saying? Never let nobody change or try to, make you feel like you should fit in with the in crowd. But because let me tell you something, and I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but I just recorded two of one of the most amazing songs. And at first I was afraid of like what people was gonna think, and this is different. But you know what? I got so much positive feedback with putting that music out. And I haven't even put it out, but I sent it to a lot of people. And I got so much good feedback to where we're gonna work on doing even a video for it because everybody said, man, I wanna jump on that. I wanna do the remix. And so not to get off subject, but I just wanted to throw that gem out there for you guys to not to give up on, what I'm saying, what God put in you to do is never too late. I don't care if you're 50, 60, 80. Do whatever God calls you to do and be great at it.
well said, well said. I'm one of the ones. I want to be able to remix, and I heard that one, and it is real motivational, and I love it. And since we're on this right, but further in the episode, but it's a saying like I always hear people like, you get a certain age, you shouldn't make music, you should do this, your time gone. No, you can make music long as you're talking about the right thing and stuff. 50-year-old guy want to get up on stage or a woman, pants sag and then talk about trapping or how many spots and stuff you got. I mean, come on, yeah, that's sensitive. If you putting the right message out there, basically you're not a rapper, you're a poet. You feel what I'm saying? You put people in. Let's move on. We're gonna talk about some more of this at the end. Episode 4. We had two guests, Vivacious Valencia and Rose, and we was talking about, and that was an interesting topic because I did learn a lot, I guess being in a relationship is hard work, especially when you're married. It's work to keep your partner happy and keep each other happy and just to make things work because you made a commitment in front of God. So that's it was good. Enjoy it. What about you, lady?
Yeah, I definitely think I talked to a lot of people about the episode of do you know your love language or your partner's love language? And I feel like that it's important. I actually had a couple who was my customers, and it was her birthday, and from the sound of her voice, her husband did not know her love language, and you could tell without her even saying anything, she felt a certain type of way about it. Like it was almost as if like she was just like really kind of like turned off. And I don't know how long they was married or nothing like that, but I'ma say this to you, young men, old men, all men, even women. Like it's very important to know what your partner loves, likes, and dislikes. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people get into a marriage, a relationship, and automatically feel like, oh, well, this is my love language. So I assume this is her love language, or this is mine. So I assume this is his. No, you need to, that's the purpose of dating and getting to know one another, what each other love. You know what I mean? Because that's the key. That's the master key to keeping a successful relationship.
I agree. Yes, sir. We're gonna have to do. I would like to do another one of those again too. Okay, and that time we was topic was dealing with grief, and our guest was Carrie, aka Crazy K, and this one here it touched me too because it is different ways. Some people dealing with grief. Like sometimes I know my sister passed back in 2000, 99 or 2000, and that's over 20 years ago, 23 years ago, and still wake up some morning feeling some type of way. So it is from you and the young lady that was on our show, Kyrie. It's different ways to deal with it. A lot of times I just reminisce on the good. What about you? Did you take your episode, Lady T?
Yeah, I thought grief, and I feel like grief is another topic that we need to actually talk about more because if you look just within the city of Chicago, people deal with grief every day and losing people in the streets. They deal with grief with losing maybe a job or losing a relationship. It's so many different forms of grief. But it's not that you don't we know these things are gonna come and are to these trials and tribulations gonna come, but it is up to us how we handle the situation. So we just gotta put it in God's hands. That's it.
That's something I learned when you said that. Put it in God. I remember I get like the way people deal with it was crime. I'm like, okay, man. A lot of people don't notice that, but I did learn that from that young lady. But moving right along, episode 6. Like this is when we switched we went on like a few weeks in a row. Life of a producer, and I guess that week was Andre Hunt, versatile. He gave me about getting in the industry, especially about the copyrights and different things. So he was definitely about we got to get back on the show, and I want to collab with. So, did you get anything out of this episode, Eddie? Too?
Yes, very much so. Versatile is someone who's like a brother to me, and I learned a lot from him as far as the business and how to. One thing that I can say about Versatile that stuck with me he always say to me to create your brand. So when you create your brand, nobody could ever take that away from you. Versus saying you connected with this person or you connected with this brand or that brand, or you work for this company, they could easily fire you. But when you branding yourself and doing, you know what I mean, doing what you need to do to make sure that the brand, your brand is where it needs to be, nobody could ever take that from you. So that's one of the things that I've learned from Versatile.
All right, moving right along. Episode 7, we had God's boss lady on the show, and she was just giving us a little insight for if you ever get pulled over by the police here in Chicago, the numbers you could call and use for free attorneys or free legal advice, basically, because, you know, not putting no weight on the Chicago police or saying nothing negative about them because they got a job to do every day. We got to think 8 hours a day dealing with the same thing over and over again. They might just actually run into somebody innocent, but seeing the same old thing over and over. She gave us tips what to say if you ever get in a situation. Sometimes you just got to cooperate. Because people are
Yeah.
just like the next person. Sometimes I get frustrated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
snap off on a person, not meaning to snap off on them, but snap off on them in the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot of insights both sides, and then you can get free representation just in case something. I learned a lot about that episode. That's definitely an episode we gotta check back out and redo again, get her back on here and get the people some input on. So. And what did you take out of
Yeah.
that? Remember the episode?
Um, what I learned about God's boss lady Lakita, is that she is definitely a woman of God with integrity. I've learned that she has multiple she has a lot of she's preparing herself to, start multiple businesses and to be front and center and do what God called her to do. And also she stated too is that she's an advocate for the community. So she helps out with her the ministry that she attends. They feed the homeless every week. They don't they give out clothes, food. They do a lot, so that's a good definition of God's boss lady.
Yes, sir. And she could sing. I'm gonna leave that out.
Yeah, she did sing. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Episode number 8, we had an interesting young man, Xavier 2 times. I hope you guys follow me, do music, do a little producing on the side and stuff. Very talented young fella. You remember? Can you give us some insight on that episode, Lady T?
Xavier 2 times is like basically is like a son, I would say. He's a lot of people don't know that I used to manage Xavier 2 times. I started off managing him and maybe 15 other artists all at once, which it was more than I can handle. But it was a great experience, and I actually manifested him because I saw Xavier at a show at Ambitious Entertainment like a year before I even started managing him, and I was like, man, I would love to work with him. Like he is so dope. Like music, very talented. He put me in the mind of GS the brand, but I manifested, that I was gonna work with him, and so I got a list of these names through this record label to work with these amazing artists, and I saw his name and I was like, wow. So I had the opportunity to work with him and many others. So, but what did I get out the show is that I feel like Xavier, he talked about him being a boxer. I think he would be really great if he decided to go to be a pro boxer. I think he would be great if he continued to do music. I think he could be great in both. Like how Jamie Foxx is good at being an actor. He's great at being a comedian. He's great at being a singer. So I don't think you have to be in one genre You don't, I mean, you have to be in this one box. Oh, because I'm an artist, I can't act or I can't box. So, you know what I mean? I feel like you could do multiple things. Whatever God put in you to do, just do it.
Well, a lot of people are multi-talented. I mean, hey, do it, show, especially if you still got your youth boxing. Hey, I told him, go. You know. Episode 9 that we had on the show was about branding, and we had Catherine Miracle of Miracle Resources, and yes, sir, we definitely getting her back on the show because we got some information about this book that we can read. So definitely get about. I learned a lot, and like I said, I had actually took a 6-month course, so I'm actually about to start manifesting some of the practice I learned out of there. I learned how to build websites, create logos, a lot of different skills I learned under there, coding and everything. Just beautiful woman to be in touch with, learn from her. She can take your business from here to you see I went out the screen to where your mind can't even imagine. I'm just trying to not really want to attack first because she really opened up my multi-talented in there. Did you take anything?
Yeah, that was actually my first time meeting Miss Miracle, and I think she's definitely a phenomenal woman and very business savvy. And the title of her book is Your Strategic Personal Brand: The Truth and the Lies by Catherine Miracle. Y'all go get the book. It teach you about all the how to be strategic, meaning straight to the point. You know what I mean? Straight to the point. What I got out of it is that I felt that I saw that she's very organized person, and that she's a builder. You know what I mean? And she does multiple things, and like we said about the artist, you don't have to put yourself in a box. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Today, you feel like you want to be a fisherman. Tomorrow, you feel like you want to be a comedian. Go do it. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to it like the Nike sign. Just do it. You just gotta do it. You live once, so you gotta do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what's up. And episode 10 was an interesting one. It was really about it was just talking of what can be done in the community, what needs to be done in the community and different stuff, leadership, the lack of leadership that's in the community now. And our special guest on the show was Clarence, aka Booby, and he dropped his thoughts about, he mentioned about how he got shot, how he turned his life around. That I mean, just because you make mistakes don't mean you can't get back on the right track. Now
Yes.
actually on his own cleaning services now and stuff. So and I'm actually process build a website on that. So I mean, just because you make wrong decisions young and influence to do wrong stuff when you're young, always once you wake up, learn what life is about, find your purpose in life. There's always room for change. So that's what I took about that. So what about you? Nancy?
Facts. I felt Booby was a very intelligent. I felt that Booby, what's his name? Clarence, I'm sorry, Clarence. He said that he was once in those streets, but it's clear evidence that you don't have to stay there. You know what I mean? Because you may be or was a product of your environment, don't mean you gotta remain there. You know what I mean? So Booby Clarence is the a prime example that you could be great. He owned a whole cleaners. Like he got his George Jefferson out, moving out up, to the east side. So I just think it's really amazing, and I think he's setting a good example um for the organizations and the youth, young and old people that's out here that's trying to start a business. So that says a lot about his character. Shout out to Clarence.
Yeah, oh yeah. Moving right along. Episode 11, I really enjoyed because I learned a lot up in here too. And what I really liked about it, the father and son collaboration. I really want to say father still living his dream, but living it through his son too. And I guess CEO 5000 and his son, Mr. Beefy. I call
Big Ree, Big Ree.
him, but I like his
Wow. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
yeah, like I say, guy pioneer CEO 5000, been around for a minute doing this thing, you know. I see him networking all through the city with Stony Island TV, and check out his song, Big Ree. He got nice music out there, you know, entertaining, very entertaining. And hey, they even gave insights to how to get started and get your music to the next level. What about you, Lady T? What did you get about this one?
Well, when I think of Big Ree, I think of Mr. Beefy, Mr. Beef. Like that's my jam. I'm very, very close with Big Ree and CEO 5000. Like CEO 5000 is more like a big brother to me, and and also Big Ree is like they both like brothers. Like Lil Ree is like my little brother, and Big Ree is like my big brother. But man, when what I got, what one thing that stuck with me with that episode is about when he talked about depression, and the reason why that I feel that way about I feel that way is because it's a lot of for him to have this image, that I'm Mr. Beefy and I'm the man, and to come out publicly and say that he deals with depression, that's rare. And that's why I kind of like I really want to do another episode. I want to do an intimate setting with like men and women, like a we could do the podcast thing, but like an intimate setting where we kind of like talk one on one, and people kind of like just be free, free themselves, because a lot of people don't want to go to counseling. A lot of people feel, for whatever reason, they don't want to go talk to nobody, but they'll talk to you because you look like them, and they can relate to their own. But one thing I got out of the show is that even with CEO 5000, he has taught me a lot as well as far as like branding and promoting. He's really great, and a lot of major labels have reached out to Big Ree to sign, but they not going. And I'm happy that they're gonna stay independent. To me, I feel like that's the best thing to do as an artist is to stay independent because you don't depending on how much they offering you, people don't understand the business side. You gotta pay all that money back. It's not, oh, I'm just gonna give you a $3 million. No, you're gonna pay that $3 million. So if you don't sell no records, you are connected to them for life. You done sold your whole soul. You know what I'm saying, to the industry. So to me, my personal opinion, I don't care how much they offer. I feel like build your own brand, build your own legacy, build your own brand so that people will know who you are. We don't gotta go to Hollywood no more, y'all. It's enough. We got studios right in the house now. You know what I'm saying? Well, we could record right at the crib, so we don't need Hollywood to be great. Just put your music on TikTok. I tell a lot of artists, just do some TikTok videos. You know what I'm saying? With you rapping a little bit or people dancing to your music, you will go viral. If everybody keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again, it's gonna be familiar to everybody and they're gonna start sharing it and this person's gonna be sharing. That's all you gotta do is just play your music on social media and you're gonna go everybody not gonna go viral. Cause some music out here is just garbage. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But for the most part, if you got some really dope music, just go live. Go live, play your music, sing your music to the DJs. Like you gotta promote. You can't be sitting that. And I don't know why God got me saying this, but this to help some artists out. Since we on the subject, you cannot just be sitting at home waiting on Clive Davis to knock on your door and find you. No, you gotta go find Davis if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, be great, young.
Well said. Moving right along. Episode 12 was very interesting. We had Boss Lady plus two on the show. I can say I took a lot out this show and even before the show because without Boss Lady answering that phone that day, I might not be right here doing what I'm doing now. I could possibly still be a slacker talking about I'm gonna start something, but track, put me in front of the right people, and roll me IMS, and hey, got me going. And the people she put me in front of was motivated. It wasn't no slacking on, let's go slack off party and nothing like that. It wasn't about work, work, work. It was like having fun while you work. It taught me the difference. So, opened my mind opportunities I didn't even know existed in me. So all I wanted to learn how to do was work this little mixing board I had, the DJ at home with, just wanted them to teach me how to do that. And now here I am in front of a mic doing podcasts and everything. So making films. So I learned a lot. Definitely check that episode off because she's taking off. She's producing music and she got a show coming out. Boss Lady Looking for Love. It's gonna be real interesting. So they in the making of that now. So did you get anything out of this episode too, Lady T?
Absolutely. Carly is actually one of the people who called me. Actually, she called me a year before I even registered for school. And so, actually, a friend of mine who graduated from school, he was like, "Man, you into music and all this stuff? You need to go to IMS." I was like, "Nah, I ain't going back to nobody's school. I done been to nursing school. I done did all this other stuff. I'm not going to." And I asked him, I said, "How long is the course for?" And he's like, "Only a few months." I'm like, "Okay." And so she kept calling, and I was like, "You know what?" And I mean, she convinced me, like, "Girl, look, I'm gonna sign you up today, tomorrow, this, that, and yeah." I was like, "Well, I gotta go get this and that." She was like, "I'm already signed you up. You can start school this week." I'm like, "What?" So, shout out to Carly. Like, if it wasn't for Carly and my friend, I wouldn't have met you guys. I wouldn't have met Stacy, Valencia, Milton, so many other dope, Olivia. Shout out to that girl Olivia and Shy Blizz and so many more. I wouldn't have met a lot of them, and I'm still doing business with them as well. So shout out to them.
Wouldn't have met nothing. Wouldn't even met each other. And hey, everybody who don't know, February 21 night class was the littest class. Hey, don't forget.
It was definitely was.
Episode 13 was real interesting. We had Keith Brandon, aka V Black Adonis, and I learned a lot. It's out on the West Coast in California doing this thing, and he just told me something that hey, meet people, continue to get how to stay on your toes, and just some of the trials and tribulations he went through when he first got out there. And one thing he did teach me that I learned out of it. I learned a lot, but when how to say no. He said when he first went there, his promoter was trying to get him to open up for Chingy, I believe it was, and he turned it down. I jump into something you're not ready for. He hadn't picked up a mic and performed that way in order. He was focused on his accent career because he knew that opportunity come back around. And so when it was came back around, he took the opportunity. Hey, the rest is history, but that's what it is. It made me learn that just because you think you could do something, no, you got to make proper preparation, to do something. So and that's what he did. He liked to win. So said in this thing, he don't want to come from number two. So what about you, Lady T? What did you take out of this stuff?
Man, well, Keith Brandon is like my spiritual young brother. And what I take out of it, I see his growth, not just naturally, but spiritually. He's a young prophet. Many don't know that. I've had the opportunity to have a lot of deep conversations with him because we carry the same mantle. But in regards to his what he's doing for his career, to me is like amazing. How many people you know out here that's young as he, who have did videos, Rihanna videos, or work with Beyonce, or work with Mr. T, or work with anybody for that matter. You know what I mean? So I really admire him, admire his drive, and I admire the fact that, like a few years ago, he asked me that I want to come to Hollywood. You know, whenever I wanted to come to Hollywood, I could, to see things, check things out, and I was like, no, because I wasn't ready. And so I say that to say he said that going in, he wasn't ready for the concert, right? To do the show, but it came back around again. And so I would say this to you guys: what God got for you is for you. You know what I mean? If it's meant for you, you're gonna get it. If it's designed for you, you're gonna get it. You don't have to do nothing extra. You don't have to bend over backwards. You don't have to do no backwards flips. What God got for you is just strictly for you. So that's just really what I got out of the whole situation.
Yes, sir. It is. And moving right along to episode 14. And this was a real good one. We was interviewing the owners of Jerk and Soul Food, Three Kings. And the reason why this was so, we need more black-owned business, especially in our communities, especially when they're dealing with food, eating, and stuff like that. With so much hate was sometimes thrown out of kind. I mean, be careful who you let cook you for. So I'm just saying that they own a grocery store as well, and they expanded their business. This was the grand opener of their second restaurant location anyway. And just people showed out for it. They had DJ in the back doing his thing, just fun and get job opportunities for people in the community. So hey, this is very well, and we need more black-owned restaurants. If you're out there, you listening, hey, got something going on good, contact us, and hey, we'll put you on the spot too. So, what about you, Lady T? What you get out of this episode?
Well, this definitely touch home because Shake is my cousin, family, and then the other business partners, Mr. Peoples and Miss Peoples, um, is it persons, right? Is it persons or person? People, people. Okay. We sorry. I'm not good with names. No shade. No disrespect. But his wife was very, very, very in tune with the conversation and about the reason, and and the purpose of why they started the business. And I just thought they were really, really nice people, um and to go support. So if y'all near the west side of Chicago, go support Three Kings and Soul LLC. Right on the corner, I think it's on Cicero, right? Right on Cicero, they food.
West Roosevelt, the other one is North Cicero, 365 North Cicero.
Just Google it. Three Kings and Soul LLC. Just Google it. Y'all will find it. You won't regret it. They was packed out on the first day. It's a vibe. It's really a good place to have like a little stepper set, a brunch, a baby shower. It's a lot of space for that, indoor and outdoor. So y'all just hit them up, and yeah.
And I definitely want to do another interview with them because we didn't get a chance to talk to the third owner whose name we just busted, so we could apologize to him in person. Never get a chance to talk.
Absolutely.
And that was our first podcast we was doing, not live, but in the physical. So we had a little mic issues and stuff. I didn't bring the mic, no mic.
Yeah.
So we want to clear
Little technical difficulties.
that's on my part. Our audio technician should know. Shouldn't come nowhere unprepared. Still made it happen, but we're gonna do better next time. Learn from your mistakes,
Yeah, we gonna do it.
some experience upon our first trip out. But moving right along to episode 15. This was a special.
Dang, drum roll.
Yes, sir. Celebrate Father's Day. Fathers sometimes don't get the treatment they should. Two special fathers. We had CEO 5000 appearing on the show for us for 5,000, and we had Dave on the show. And
Yes.
tell them why you picked Dave, because this was a special moment here. I want you to tell this moment because this was the one stood.
I picked Dave. Those of you don't, I'll have to, y'all will have to find him. I forgot his name on social media, but Dave is someone who I didn't hang around personally, but we grew up in the same community, literally right across from where I lived, and I just saw him like I didn't see him growing up being like the other guys, being on the block. And not saying he didn't kick it with the people on the block or nothing wrong with it, but I just always saw him doing something or going somewhere, or leaving outside of where we grew up was the straight projects on the west side of Chicago. And I saw him just always being determined to just be go outside of the box. And then, so, me being his friend on Facebook, I've seen him go through difficult times, and I've seen him, the way he nurture his children and the way he's there for them, and even his fiance is just like, I'm like, I mean, you would have to watch it to really see the love. Like, you could tell he not doing it for show. This is what he loved to do, just like any other father or mother. And so I felt like, I wanted to give him his flowers, and I see that he helps a lot of other people as far as giving them money. If somebody call him, say, I need such and such, or if I need some shoes or I need clothes, like, he's that person. So I just want to give him, his flowers. And I chose CEO 5000, of course, because I think he's definitely a phenomenal father. I know that he's a phenomenal father. Father, he has his son. His son is grown, but they still had this bond where, like, he even stated on the show that they still, he just tell his son that I love you, and son, I came to see you, I love you. And he's a good friend, and he's a good friend to me. And he gonna tell you what's right, whether you like it or not. He gonna tell you, look, nope, I don't think you should do that, or you know what I mean. And it's your decision to choose whether you're gonna do it or not. So those are the reasons why I chose them for our Father's Day edition, because I thought they were phenomenal. Oh, and Danny Jones. Danny Jones was supposed to be on the show. Shout out to Danny Jones. Danny Jones he gonna come on the show. We're gonna interview him. But I gotta say this: a lot of people don't give Danny his flowers. I feel like Danny is like the number one promoter in the city of Chicago and beyond. The Midwest, he calls himself the Midwest promoter, which I know for facts that he is, and Danny, not only is he a good phenomenal father to his daughter, but he has, I'ma just say this live. It been times like when my husband passed, it was hard for me. And there was times where I needed food. Danny made sure I had food for my kids. Like, he literally went to get food, or, what I'm saying, made sure my girls was good. And not saying he was being a father figure, but to call and check on them, to have a conversation with them. That meant more to me as, you know, that meant more to me than anything in the world. So then I ain't gonna say what I want to say live on this live, but he my brother. That's all I'm saying. He my brother.
Yeah, well said. That was episode 15, which brings us here where we at now, doing a recap of all our shows, episode 16.
Yes.
Find out a little bit more about me and Lady T and what we got planned for the future and everything. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Many people struggle with grief, and it can weigh you down. But God wants you to be free. There is a time, a season, and a purpose for everything under the sun. This commercial was sponsored by It's a Chicago Vibe with Lady T. Marie and Mr. Success. Hey, you. Do you feel your back is up against the wall with nowhere to go or turn? Mental illness is real. And if you or someone you know is battling with this demon, try Jesus. This commercial is sponsored by the Lord.
All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to It's a Chicago Vibe. And we're sitting here with me, of course, Mr. Success and Lady T Marie. And Lady T Marie, it's this time we're gonna talk about us a little bit, give people insight on us. I know we got
Okay.
2 new songs out and stuff. Would you like to share? Tell us a little bit about them.
Yes. Shout out to Jesse Parks for producing these two amazing songs. But I have to give credit where credit is due. And the beats gotta get clear by Tone Jones. Shout out to Tone Jones, which he's a Grammy award winning beat maker, a producer. So shout out to him. When I first heard these beats, well, he gave me 2 free other beats, which I haven't even recorded on the beat yet. But the I had been looking for beats, and when I heard them, I was just like, I could literally hear the lyrics through the music, and I'm like, oh my god. And well, actually, finally free. Um, I wrote that like in 10 minutes. Now the other song, You All I Need, I wrote that like maybe over 10 years ago. And so after I recorded in the studio, finally free, I was like, Jesse, like, I got another song. I ain't got no beat. He like, find a beat, find a beat. So I had did my vocals. I didn't even know what beat I was doing. So I did my vocals and then he added the song afterwards and I was like, whoa. I mean, I'm just like, wow. It sounds amazing. So I'm like, we got something, going. And so yeah, that's basically it
But now, is
about the music.
it anywhere right now? You haven't released them yet, fully all the way yet.
Well, no, I haven't released them yet. I'm working on my other album cover. I'm done with one of the album covers, and I think I'm gonna drop them as a mixtape. And I just want to really perform them and let God get His glory. I'm not doing it for money. I mean, although if I get paid, if you pay me to come do a show, like I would do it. But my purpose is really that, you know, the first time I played Finally Free was for someone, this young lady, and she began to cry, and I was like, "You gonna make me?" And I was like, "Wow, you gonna make me cry?" So long story short, she began to cry, so I asked her, why are you crying? And she said, because the part where you talk about generational curses. I have a lot of generational curses on my bloodline. And I began to explain to her. She actually went on my live, was like, "Oh, I'm her fan." I was like, "Oh, my first fan." But she was like, the reason why I feel like the song blessed her was because it helped to remind her who she is and how she could be free. She don't have to be in bondage. So that was the purpose of me doing Finally Free. So that people could be free from whatever they dealing with. And my next goal is just to do a visual about this, and I will do. Like I've seen the visual that I want to do for Finally Free and You All I Need. So I'm really excited about it, and that's my purpose is just so that people could be healed because no shade to nobody else music that's out there that's talking about God knows what. That that's just not me. My purpose is to do what God want me to do, and to so that He could get the glory out of whatever I put out there. That's my purpose. Everything else don't even matter to me. Whether I get a dime, God gonna reward me, and that's how we gotta look at things. We can't look at everything that we do as to get money. This what we doing. This people don't know this platform. We got we got paid. We haven't got paid yet. We gonna start getting paid. But we don't do this for the money. We do it to glorify, edify God. You know, so and a lot of the topics is topics that people don't want to talk about. They would rather talk about turning up. They rather talk about God knows what, and that's just not me. It's a time I feel like in the place for everything under the sun, and certain topics you just need not to put in the atmosphere. We got enough ratchetness going on in the world. If you're gonna be ratchet for your husband at home. Okay, that's all I'm saying about that.
It is. That's what's coming out from Lady T Marie. Respecting Lady T.
Yep. So, Sammy, Mr. Success, what do you got coming out? What's your next move?
Well, my next move, I'm currently in the process of finishing off my movie. Well, writing it anyway. We haven't started shooting any part, but we're just writing in the loose ends and stuff in it. It's called B-Boys and Girls, the rise and fall of the B-Boys, what inspired me to do music in the first place, which was house music, in that area. And I'm just writing in little details of why, disco was killed, but it was picked right back up, turned it into house music, why house music was killed, and stuff like that. I'm putting all that up there because it's basically based off real life issues that I went through as a youngster, watching like my uncle and a couple of friends and stuff go through. Because actually, was good DJs and how their life, turned into nothing else. But people like me is still here to live through their dreams and stuff. So I'm just working on that. And of course, I'm a audio visual technician. I'm here every day doing different events and shows, setting on my spare time. That's what I'm doing. Actually, I'm doing the show right now, but the show going and running well, so I got time to do a podcast. And one thing I did learn about working with Encore is how to use my chunk time. They got courses in here.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best technician you could be. So ain't no such thing as call waste of time. See, right now,
Absolutely.
so productive. So that's something I learned from working.
Yeah.
So thank you, IMS, for putting me in tune with Encore. It made actually making me a better person. And also, I'm still working on my beats as usual. So if you need any extra beats, I haven't put no sound package.
Yeah, definitely send me some beats because I mean I'm ready. I write all the time and like I'm ready. Like what really motivated me to do the music, I kept saying, I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Until one day I said I got tired and I was like, you know what? I'm finna book this session. I called him, like, and I paid for my session, and I felt good. And I'm like, man, I'm finna do this. And I'm really proud of myself. And even how he mixed and mastered it is amazing. And like I want some Jesse Park beats because that man played a guitar, all type of instruments. He's really, really super dope. And he's a great artist as well. But I was just blessed to work with, and he's a man of God. Shout out to all the men and the women of God because God will put you. I was supposed to been do this song with so many other people, and it's like God didn't want it. He wanted to be who He connected me to do it with because He knew. And I know Jesse won't mind me saying this, but how I knew it was a divine connection was I think he told me he had fasted for like 2 weeks or something, 10 days. And then one of my lyrics in a song, I say I went to the highest mountain peak. I fasted 3 days, waiting on the Lord to speak. And that was just like my connection. Like, okay, it was just like God. It was like God was all through that because I've worked with some. I ain't gonna say no names, but I've worked with some people who, you know, they not right. They just not right. That's all I'm saying. It's not right, and it's mainly about. I'm gonna put it out there. It's mainly about like what you could do for the person. You know what I'm saying? Can we be in a relationship? I want to be in a relationship with you. That's the only way I can work with you type. And I'm not her. You know what I mean? I dealt with that a lot in this industry. I dealt with that with a lot of people. But you don't have to deal with that. I learned you don't have to deal with that. You could tell people no. You know what I mean? And if they choose not to work with you because you don't want to date them, then that's not the people you need to be with. And so I had to remove myself out of different situations because a lot of people in this industry is very lustful, very, very lustful, and we all know this, but I'm gonna speak for the women because I'm a woman. Like women, like I feel like when you go to these studios and you don't have to sell your soul. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to label the man to get your music on the radio, to get your music out there. Like God will put people in your life. He will give you so much favor to where you like people will be knocking on your door. You know what I mean? You don't have to sell your soul or sell your body to promote what God put in you to do because God gonna make provision for that. So I wanted to say that to the women and to the men because y'all go through it too. But I see it a lot with the women. So producers, cut it out, please.
But about all the time we got on today's show. Before we get out of here, tell everybody where they could find you at, Lady T.
Well, y'all can find me on social media on all platforms. Latoya Baxter, LatoyaBaxter on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Lady T, I think it's Lady T Marie, or it's a Chicago vibe. And my email is LatoyaBa45 at gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Follow me, Savvy L. Thompson on Facebook, IG, YouTube, and Twitter. Mr. Success Media. That's SUCCESS Media. And everything I do on TikTok and anywhere. You hear the music beds in the background, there's me and all me. So drop us with them affirmations of the day, Lady T, before we get out of here.
Whew, man, we said a lot. Today affirmation is to love God first, to love others, to love yourself. It's better to give than to receive, and know that there is a time, a season, and a purpose for everything under the sun. It may be your time, it may not be your time, but know that your time will be coming soon. It's your girl, Lady T Marie, with It's a Chicago Vibe, signing off, sending love to the world, and hugs to them thugs.
DJ
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah. You know my
Success.
motto when you witness success, you always have a ball. If I can't tell the truth, it's nothing at all. Mr. Success, bring a pleasure, no stress. Until next week, y'all, peace.
C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A. C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O, C-H-I-C-A, let's go, go, C-H-I-C-A-G-O,